Zoe Campos was only 18 years old. She was smart, funny, and known for a smile that could light up any room. On what seemed like a completely normal November night in Lubbock, Texas, she sent one last text message, and then she was gone. For years, her heartbroken family pleaded with the police for any leads, any shred of information that might bring her home. But the case froze solid. There were no answers, no trail to follow, nothing but agonizing silence. Until, in a twist no one saw coming, the social media platform TikTok got involved. This is the story of the killer brought down by TikTok, the Zoe Campos case. On the night she vanished, Zoe left her home around 11 p.m. She sent a text to her cousin, telling her she was on the way to pick her up. But Zoe never arrived. Her phone suddenly went silent, and her car was nowhere to be found. Her family, gripped by a fear every parent dreads, called the police immediately. The initial police theory was that she had run away, a common assumption for a teenager. But her mother knew her daughter. She insisted with unwavering certainty that Zoe would never just vanish. She wouldn't leave without calling, not without leaving some kind of trace. The family's instincts screamed that something was terribly wrong. For months, they poured their hearts into the search. They blanketed the city with flyers bearing Zoe's smiling face. They organized community searches, combing through fields and neighborhoods, hoping for any sign of her. They held candlelit vigils, their flickering flames a symbol of their undying hope. But each effort ended in disappointment. There was nothing. It was as if Zoe had disappeared into thin air, leaving behind only a void of grief and unanswered questions. Then, a few days after Zoe vanished, a strange development occurred. Her car reappeared. A witness came forward, reporting that they had seen a man driving it, someone who definitely did not look like Zoe. The man abandoned the car near an apartment complex. Surveillance cameras captured footage of a man walking away from the vehicle, but his identity remained a mystery. The image was too grainy, the angle too obscure. It was another tantalizing clue that led to another dead end. No arrest was made. As days turned into weeks and weeks into years, the case went cold. No new suspects emerged. There was no new evidence, no movement at all. For Zoe's family, it was a living nightmare, an open wound that refused to heal. The official investigation had stalled, and it seemed as though the world had moved on. Forgetting the girl with the infectious smile, hope began to fade, replaced by a dull, constant ache of not knowing. 6 long years passed. Then, something completely unexpected happened, something that would reignite the case in a way no one could have predicted. True crime creators on TikTok started sharing Zoe's story. Videos detailing her disappearance began to circulate, gaining traction with a new generation. Her case went viral. Millions of views turned into tens of millions. The comments section flooded with thousands of people from all over the world, demanding answers and demanding justice for Zoe. The digital pressure mounted, intense and relentless. The public was watching, and their collective voice was impossible to ignore. And suddenly, after 6 years of stagnation, there was progress. The renewed attention generated a crucial tip. Someone contacted the police, claiming they knew a man who had bragged, chillingly, about hurting a girl years ago. The man's name was Carlos Rodriguez. Detectives wasted no time and brought him in for questioning. Under the weight of their interrogation, his composure cracked. He confessed to investigators that he had met Zoe on the very night she disappeared. He claimed that things had gotten out of control. Then he uttered the words detectives, and Zoe's family had waited 6 agonizing years to hear, "I know where she is." Following his confession, Carlos Rodriguez led investigators to the backyard of a home where he once lived. It was a place that held a dark and terrible secret. Underneath the soil, buried deep beneath a layer of concrete, they began to excavate. There, they found human remains. Dental records were used for identification, and the results confirmed their worst fears. It was Zoe. After 6 painful, uncertain years, she had finally been found. Her family, who had never given up hope, at last had the answers they so desperately needed, though it brought a grief that was sharp and profound. Carlos Rodriguez was immediately arrested and charged with murder. In court, he admitted to everything. There was no lengthy trial, no defense argument, no attempt to deny his actions. He pled guilty to the charges against him. The judge sentenced him to decades in prison, ensuring he would no longer be a threat to anyone else. The case that had been cold for so long was finally, officially, solved. TikTok didn't single-handedly solve the crime. Police work and the crucial tip did that. But what the platform did was incredibly powerful. It made the world pay attention again. It took a forgotten, cold case and thrust it back into the spotlight, refusing to let Zoe's memory fade. The immense public pressure it generated pushed for justice and helped create an environment where new information could finally come to light. Zoe's family has expressed their gratitude that millions of strangers cared enough to help bring their daughter home. She was loved by so many. She was missed every single day, and now she will never be forgotten. If you'd like more stories just like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. It helps keep these stories alive and ensures their voices are heard. Thank you for watching.